Hi there, this is a basic tutorial on learning a standard jazz song, Autumn Leaves. This song is very well known and is a must-known song if you would like to sing jazz and if you want to travel around and sing jazz. Lots of musicians around the world will be able to sing it. The changes or chords in the song are very simple and the melody is relatively simple to learn. I'm going to step through the melody and the bass line in this tutorial. So then when you go to sing it, you have a really great understanding of where to begin with learning the song. In the description below, I have provided a link to musicnotes.com which gives you the jazz chart for Autumn Leaves if you would like to learn it in a different key. I've also provided a backing track for the key that I'm singing so you may practice. And I've provided the lyrics of the song so when we get to the point where we sing the lyrics, you can follow along. This tutorial is so you can sing along with me, so make sure you're not just watching it, find a space where you can sing and join me. I have my iPad ready with my chart ready to play. We're going to learn the melody exactly as it's written. You'll see that this song is in common time, indicated by the C, and we have only 3 notes in that first bar. That just means it's an incomplete bar, so we'll have a beat 1, and it's a pickup bar, so we'll enter on the word the starts on beat 2. So it'll sound like this. 1. And that movement of slowly ascending is going to repeat throughout the song. We're going to focus on the first 8 bars first. So this is what it sounds like. I'm going to play the first 8 bars for you so you can hear it. Stop. Don't sing the next bar. So that is the first 8 bars and that is our A section, our first A section. Alright, I'm going to play it again and I'm slowly going to sing it on a do sound and you can follow along or you can just listen because I'll do this a few times. Do, 1, do, 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 do. We're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, here we go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Last time, following along. Do, 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 do. So you have learned the first A section. Now the form or structure of this song is an A-A-B-C song. In jazz, we don't use intro, chorus, anything like that. In jazz, usually we use the symbols of the alphabet. You have learned the first 8 bars, and that is the first A section. So the second 8 bars are also an A section, which are very similar. There's only a few notes different and we will go over them. So let's jump into that little pickup just before we start into bar 9. So we're looking at bar 8. I'm going to sing along and then I'll stop you just before we change. So bar 8. 1. Do, 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 do. So here, the next 4 notes are different and I'm going to play them for us. And we'll play that again. Let's sing that on do. Do, 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 do. Again. Do, 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 do. Let us sing the first A section, the second A section, and stop because we know the next section is a B section and it's going to be completely different. First A, first bar. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Keep going. Do, do, do. You have learned the 2 A sections. We are halfway through learning the melody. Without lyrics yet, but that's okay. Okay, we are looking now at bar 13, 14, 15, 16. Bar 16, which is the pickup. There's 2 notes as a pickup into the B section in bar 17. Let us play bar 16 through to 20, 23. So you'll have 2 beats and then you'll sing that, this note here, which is a G sharp. 1, 2. Ooh, that is tricky. I'm going to play that bar 22 again. That is such a big leap. Let's do that again. Let's go in from bar 16. Stop for a second. Bar 17, that's an E, that's pretty low for most people. Just do it gently, or you can change it later on if you can't sing that low. That's fine. When you are making the big jump in bar 22, I suggest you think of that G to G, which is an octave jump. Think of the top note more. You don't want to scoop it. You want to think already. That G, the bottom G, make sure that you're gentle on it so you can jump up. That'll get you up there. Let's do the B section one more time. Bar 16. 1, 2. Can we go on? Can we finish C? I think we can. Okay, so we have 2 beats going in from bar 24. So you're holding the G. So again, in bar 24, you're going from a held note from the bar 23. 1, 2. Wow, that is so different, and that's why it's called a C section, because it's totally different from what we've been doing previously. Again, let's go from the D sharp. Keep going. Looking at bar 29, you'll see that the first note in bar 29 has a dot. And so that dotted minim means that it's held for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, let's do that again. Yeah, so that's the only time that you see a 3 beat in this song. Oh no, I lie, in bar 26 as well. You've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go in from bar 24 to the end, and then we would have learnt the song. If you need to go over this part slowly, just pause, go backwards, that's totally fine. I'm going quite quickly for the purpose that this is not the longest video of all time. Okay, bar 24. 1, 2. Sing the melody from the top, straight? Yes, we can. Here we go. And 1. Moving on to second day. Great job, guys! Okay, so we've learnt the melody straight. Above each bar you will notice chords, and it's really important for jazz singers to take note of these and practice the bass line. So each bar has a symbol, DM7, the next one's G7, the next one's C7. They are the chords that make up the sounds behind the accompaniment. When I am learning a jazz song, I will always learn the chords as well. If you're just doing the basic steps of this, I would just learn the bottom note, which is just the D or the G and the C and the F for the first 4 bars. Let's actually sing those through together, and we're just going to follow through. So from the top, we're going to go from the DM7, so really bar 2 we're going to jump into, because usually there's an A chord in front, the falling leaves. So you would jump in really on the second bar with the word leaves. So it's a D. So I'm going to play the first 4 bottom notes of the song. D, G, C, F. And that's the bass line underneath the melody. So if you were singing the song, the falling leaves drift by my window. Yeah? It's really good to learn those, so let's sing them together. D, G, C, F, B, A. You'll notice the next bar doesn't have anything, and in jazz that means you just play the same chord that you played previously. It just continues on. So keep going. A. Now the next section is an A section, so the bass line will be exactly the same, except for, nope, actually it's exactly the same. So let's jump in from bar to bar 9. And D, G, C, F, B, Okay, B section and C section are going to be totally different, so let's just listen to them, okay? B, A, D, G, C, F. Going on to C section. B, E. Now you'll notice the next 2 bars have an A and a D in the same bar. That means they change pretty fast. So let's go back to bar 25. Bar 25 is a B. B, A, D, G, C, F, B, E, A, A. Okay, so there is the bass line. An activity you could do, you could play the bass line underneath you singing the melody like this. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yes? Or you could reverse it and you could play the melody and you sing the bass line. There's lots of ways you could practice this at home. You could use a backing track where you sing the melody along the backing track, or you sing the chord progression, the bass line along with that. You could also use the app called iRealB app, which is great for jazz singers as well. We are going to sing the song from the head with the lyrics this time, and we're still going to sing it exactly how it's written rhythmically and melodically. I'm going to play the chords, the skeleton chords underneath, nothing fancy. You may sing along. The lyrics are in the description below. The falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grew long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, since the autumn leaves start to fall. You will notice that that seems a little bit boring, and that's what you want to do when you're learning a jazz song. First, you want to sing it with the words exactly as written, confidently, under the chords. Once you've learned it, you can play around with it. You can play around with the melody, and you can play around with the rhythm of the song. I suggest when you're starting off with improvising, you choose one of them to play around with, opposed to doing too much at once, and then it becomes a bit of a mess. You could definitely, if you're a bit more advanced, play around with the thirds and sevenths of the chord. I'm going to skip that for this basic tutorial, but that's something else you could go and follow. But if I was playing around with the first 4 bars and I was playing around with the melody, it would sound like this. Oh, a thing to note, you don't want to change things so much that it doesn't sound like the song anymore. That's too much. You want to just make decisions about what might sound good. You want to make artistic choices that still honor the song and make it sound like the song, but you want to make decisions that make it sound like your version, if that makes sense. So if I was playing around with the first 4 bars and I was playing around with the melody, I probably wouldn't play around with the first 4 notes because they're like the notes everyone knows. So I go, the falling leaves drift by my window. Did you see what I did there? I changed the melody. And if I was changing the rhythm but keeping the same notes, the falling leaves drip by my window. I played around with the melody. So you can play around with, if it was starting off, I play around with melody, or I would play around with the rhythm. Don't try and do too much at once. So if I was playing around with the next 8 bars from the beginning, and I was kind of doing a little bit of both, it might sound like this. The falling leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves of red and gold. That's one way to give you an idea. Let's do it again. The fallen leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves of red and gold. So I didn't stray too far away from the melody, and I didn't go too crazy, but I did enough that it was a little bit more interesting. When you sing the song first in a jazz song, you will sing the form a few times probably, and maybe some of the instrumentalists with you will solo. You want to keep the first time through the form pretty close to the form, and maybe the second time you sing through it really kind of change it up. The song Autumn Leaves is an absolute standard in jazz. A lot of people have covered it in all different types of instruments. Originally, the lyrics were written in French by Jacques, I'm going to say this incorrectly, Prévier, I want to say. excuse my accent. And the music was written by Joseph Cosma. Later, English lyrics were written by Johnny Mercer, who wrote a lot of other jazz songs. A piano version was #1 bestseller in 1955, played by Roger Williams. Joseph Cosma was a Hungarian-born composer who met up with Jacques in Paris. They wrote a number of different songs together and then also came up with Autumn Leaves. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it in French. It will be disastrous. There have been many different versions. My personal favorite is by Astrid Gilberto, which I put in the description, but Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, so many people. It's also been noted to be the most popular non-American jazz standard in the world. That's it from me, guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description below, and that's it from me. Happy singing!
If you enjoyed this video and want access to more free warm-ups, meditations, and other singing-related videos, make sure you subscribe. I am a new channel and any support is appreciated so I can make more material for you guys. Anyway, that's it from me. See you next time.